The Captain America is shining extra bright today. Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2 review. What it do? I'm coming true. It's Chillmonger and I'm talking to you. I want to do the review, but I didn't do it yesterday when I was supposed to. And if I would have came on time, I would have been here at Friday, maybe around 9. But instead, I was watching the election. I'm just going off right now. Just like Trump's. Never mind. All right. It's Mandalorian time. I'm opening my notes because I wrote notes when I watched this episode. There was one time in the episode, actually, since I brought up Trump, when, what's her name? Amy Sudeikis' character, she was like, here's the deal. And I'm like, that's a Joe Biden quote. Like, I was heavily consumed with an American election talk, and then all of a sudden she said that, and it got me out of the episode for a short while. I would have preferred her talking about womp rats or something like that, like she was doing an episode ago. So we begin with a recap of what happened in the previous season. It had to do with Zero, that droid, and it had a lot to do with Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda gets so much attention that it made me think, okay, they're putting so much sympathy on him because marketing, first of all, it's all about the baby. That he's more popular than the Mandalorian himself. Everyone was putting Instagram memes, and everyone is attracted to the baby. That's why in the trailers, while we super fans thought these are bad trailers, they're not giving us enough, what they were doing was heavily focusing on the little baby because he is the main character of the show. And I was thinking, this isn't what you do during the show. This is how you market the show. So when it began with all that love, I mean, we found out exactly why they were doing that later on in the episode, but when they began with that, I'm thinking, are they trying to make me care about this guy because this is the episode where he gets lost? That wasn't the case. Instead, it's the episode where he gets really annoying, really annoying, the way he's eating all those eggs. So it begins with a little bit of a fearful moment when someone just pulls a string. Dude on the racer, on the speeder, gets what's the word for it when they trip you like a banana peel in Mario Kart? I love his reasoning. He's like, whoa, okay, let's make a trade. I care about this thing. I'll give you all the valuable material. Go, you want the jetpack? Here you go, the jetpack. It shows love for Din Djarin because he's a hard ass. They're not gonna be able to give him a lot of scenes for us to see the love he has for the baby. That was a good example. And all he had to do was a little thing here. And I love the way it escaped the screen. It was funny, it was impactful, but it was also inexpensive. It was a very good way to save money. You don't have to animate a guy leaving on a jetpack. You know how expensive that sounds? All you have to do is keep the frame there. This guy leaves the screen, and we just get to see the Mandalorian wait. He drops it. That was perfectly done. It checked so much on the checklist of just being cost effective as well as story effective. So I love that more than probably anyone on YouTube is going to talk about that moment. It was worth noting for me. Okay, when we get the eggs, they're in the incubator, and the baby touched it, and they started like coming towards him. I'm like, oh, the midichlorians, and I'm making all these Star Wars sci-fi connections. No, there was nothing like that. I don't understand why it was all directed, all coming towards him, but the Force is why. The baby ate some eggs. After hearing that it's an extinct frog species and this is the last of its line, I was actually mad at it. I didn't think it was funny. They kept on doing it, and I got really upset at the baby. The mom should know just how many there are inside there, so I was disappointed that she never knew exactly he was doing it. The closest we get is at the end of the episode where she's hugging the tube and she's looking at baby and she's like let me just guard it over here. And yeah, of course he had one and we can see him eat it, but she can't see him eating it behind her. That boils my blood. That's not how you make a baby a good guy. Now, when they get pulled over by those X-Wings, And Dave Filoni, superstar director Dave Filoni, was flying one. I didn't know it was his voice until they cut over to him. And the other guy I recognized from Kim's Convenience, the Korean guy. Oh, let me talk about race in space. Because I always bring it up and I'm always about diversity. It's weird, and I know I'm wrong for this, but when I see an Asian Star Wars character, I'm like, well, there is no Asia in space. That's a me problem though, right? Like I can see different colors skin people, but then it's when I see the epicanthal folds on people, I'm like, so what? They must be from the east. No way, that doesn't make sense. I guess it's just, yeah, it's that's a me problem though, like I said. But that's the way I think. Um, there was a moment here where the baby eats an icy egg. That is when everything clicked. That's Peyton Reed in his directing. This is the same guy who did Marvel things like Ant-Man. I think he did the cheerleading Bring It On movie. Like that's his style. When everything kind of connects in the end. It ate the ice spider thing because it was all about its eggs. And then one ice spider turned to another, and they all started hatching at the same time. Now these are all babies, but they all knew what to do. The bigger ones, the older ones, I understand. They're there to protect. But babies who are just born, I don't know how they all had the instinct of let's chase the bad guy. Let's chase Mandalorian, Frog Lady, who was like animal instincts. That was a cool little animation. They didn't have to do that. I didn't like that it was running. I wouldn't have liked it if the mother was just running on her 2 feet, thinking outside the box there. I liked it. Um, and yeah, the small spiders followed. And Mando had to shoot them all up. He was saved by the X-Wing pilots. They're like, you were the dude from the Razor Crest on episode 6, right? Yeah. Okay. Good looking out because you put 3 fugitives away. We're just gonna look the other way. It was very reminiscent. No. Let me take that back. In the beginning, it was reminiscent of like a cop pullover, but what happened at the end wasn't realistic to real life, where cops are actually good guys at the end and they give you a pardon. So the Mandalorian gets off scot-free. And he talks about how I can fly this thing. And remember that early part of the trailer where you can see his ship flying and the back is still open? We're wondering how that's possible. He says, I gotta pressurize the cockpit, and it's the only part that's gonna be able to be flied on. So no Princess Leia, I can just Mary Poppins my way in, the door will open, and everyone will be safe inside. There's none of that. He was actually having to pressurize the cockpit and make sure that only that part of the ship is flyable. This was filmed, written after Episode 8, The Last Jedi. This was a middle finger to the Mary Poppins, Leia in space. Wait, I can move. That's what that was to me. So, good episode, not great episode. It seemed secondary to the Krayt Dragon, the whole big ice spider thing. But Dave Filoni came through. It was a thrilling ride. I loved the beginning. A little bit too much comedy with the baby eating fucking eggs, but 7 out of 10, maybe even 8. I'll give it an 8. I don't know, because like I told you, I was like heavy into the elections. Like I usually watch them as soon as I get on my computer first thing. I didn't watch it. I was distracted. But Chillmonger out.